Fall Fun Fact.
Did you know apples are a member of the rose family? Well, now you know.
It's draw time with Mr. Mayberry. Time to draw.
Hi, welcome to Draw Time with Mr. Mayberry, Falltime Edition. It's harvest week on Draw Time, so we're drawing things that have to do with fall harvest. Today I'm going to show you how to draw an apple. So let's get started. It's time to draw. Okay, I have my paper turned horizontal and I'm just using a regular pencil to draw. I'm going to start in the center, and I want this to be just a little bit bigger than a baseball. I'm going to start with a shape, not quite a circle. It's going to be wider at the top and then gets a little narrower at the bottom. It's more of an oval, but it's a little bit wider at the top. Okay, and make sure you start off drawing lightly because we'll be changing some things as we go along, and it's a lot easier to erase if you've drawn lightly at first. Okay, now up here towards the top, I'm going to start with this curve that I have. Again, this is wider here, narrower at the bottom. Start with this wider curve, and I want to make it curve over and dip down a little, and then curve back up towards the top. Now I'm not going to go all the way with it, but up close to the top. And then out of this area here is where the stem is going to be. And so I want to make a line, starts here and then curves out to the left. And at the end of it, there's kind of a teardrop shape here at the end, sort of. And then it will slant back down to the middle. Okay, so this is the end of the stem. You're seeing the from the end a little bit, and then the side of the stem. Okay, this line here, I'm going to darken it to where I want it to be, so I'm going to make it a little darker, and I'm going to gradually work this down, make it darker towards the bottom. I'm going to stop before I get to the end, and then up here I want to start where this edge is. I'm going to make the line go back here behind the stem, curve down just a little, and then back up to the other side. And then around where we had it over here. So this is going to go over here, curve around, and it slants in towards the bottom. Now it depends on what kind of apple you have there. Apples are, by the type of apple, they're a little bit different shapes. And if you have one that you can have an apple available, it's good to have one in front of you to look at as well. Sometimes you'll get a better idea of how to draw it, and if you have one in front of you. Now I'm showing you because I have a picture that I've drawn earlier by looking at an apple, and that's what I'm studying. I'm following my own drawing, but it's good to have something in front of you as well to draw when you get to things like this. It's always nice to have something there, something to look at, and not just try to make it up from imagination. So that's one of those things you could do. You can do the way I'm showing you, but then it also would be helpful if you had something to look at so you can see for yourself. Okay, then the bottom is going to be, it follows this curve, but it's going to curve up just a little in the middle. And then it curves back down and connects over here. So this is the basic shape of the apple. And now the rest is going to be about shading and things like that. The stem itself, I'm going to make it darker right in this area. And the edge is dark, and I'm going to leave the middle a little bit lighter, just a little bit of a highlight there. Okay, and then this apple, I'm going to make some light lines that curve, that follow the contour. It's kind of sketchy. So on the left side they curve towards the left, on the middle they go straight up and down, and then on the right they're going to curve towards the right to follow this curve up here towards the top. And a lot of times on certain kinds of apple you can see kind of a grainy look like this on the apple itself. Okay, and then I want to do some here in the back that go away from us, doing the same kind of thing. They follow the curve out like that. Okay, and then I'm going to add some shading. I'm going to use the edge of the pencil instead of the end. And I'm going to lay the pencil flat then and just kind of rub across the apple here to get some shading. I'm going to do it on the left side here and a little bit to the right. Now, if you have a light source set up with an apple, you can see how the light falls on the edge of the apple, on the sides of the apple. Where you would get the shadows and where the highlights would be, that would be a good exercise as well. Okay, I want to draw a horizon line. This is going to show us that the apple is not just floating out here in the middle of nowhere. It's actually, this one's sitting on a table. So I'm going to draw a line that goes across, stops, and continues then on the other side. And you can shade that as well. If you do, make it a different value than the rest of the drawing so it doesn't look like it's all the same thing. You want to make it lighter or darker. I think I'm going to make mine darker. Maybe get dark right close to the edge of the apple as well. That change in value is what makes your drawing more interesting and more three-dimensional. So don't make it exactly the same darkness as the apple itself. Okay, and after I've done something like that, I usually like to go back over and make sure I darken the edges, or if I went over I need to erase and redo just a little bit if I went over the edge. Sharpen that up. Okay, clean up your drawing, get rid of any stray lines or any smudges or marks that you have. You can add color if you like. And this is our drawing for today, an apple.
Well, now that you know how to draw an apple, why not have an apple for a snack? Thanks for taking time to draw with me. I hope you'll come back again. And remember, if you want to be a good artist, do a little drawing every day.
That's beautiful.
Good morning, sir. My name is Miss Rose.
Well, howdy, Miss Rose. I'm your Uncle Apple.